You weren't expecting this, were you? So, cutting to the chase, there are loads of shows out there that I totally ironically watch. Totally just watch it ironically. I don't actually care about these characters or write completely new lore for them. Anyways, I'm going to talk about some shows I think are underrated. Okay, maybe some shows on this list are kind of well known, but I don't think people are talking about them enough. Look, I'm just talking about the shows I want to talk about. First up, we have the weirdest of them all, Odd Squad. Now, this live-action Canadian-American math show started in 2014, and I think might still be going. So this show is about, well, duh. The squad itself is a secret organization run by kids that, in its own words, investigates anything strange, weird, and especially odd. And their job is to set things right. Each season has a different cast of lovely lads who all somehow have a name that begins with O. The ones you'll probably recognise if you've seen the show before is Olive and Otto. Season 1 has zero plot for the first half of it. The second half introduces Odd Todd, Olive's old partner, who left the squad due to being too good at solving problems, so he started causing them, to put simply. And then he left villainry in Season 2. Speaking of Season 2, Olive and Otto are replaced by Olympian Otis. Otis has a twist where he used to be a villain, but instead of being raised by rules, he was raised by ducks. The show is weird. And then Season 3, I haven't watched Season 3. Also, it got a movie with Jack McBrayer. Moving on. Second up, another oddball. Boy, Girl, Dog, Cat, Mouse, Cheese. I'm not joking with that title. This show technically breaks the childhood aspect of this, but I just needed to talk about it. This is probably the most recent show on this list, premiering October 2019. This is a cartoon about, well, a boy, a girl, a dog, a cat, a mouse, and a sentient slice of cheese. The show follows their random shenanigans of hating/respecting, but mostly hating, each other. Boy is extra and cowardly, girl is the social media one and has the best design, dog is a dog, cat is the best character in the whole show, mouse is the technological genius who makes rational decisions, and cheese is the girly girl. Not really much else to say, but if you like badly executed comedy, the whole series is chilling on IBC Player. Go check it out. Okay, next up we have Dora. Now this is what I meant when I said I don't think people are talking about it enough. Like, I type in Dora the Explorer review on YouTube, and all I see from Mark's the live-action movie. Anyways, this is a Nickelodeon show that started in about 2000, and I think finished up in 2019. I think. I doubt you haven't heard of it. It's one of Nickelodeon's most marketed shows of all time. Like, they advertise this thing like crazy. But in case you haven't heard of it, Dora is a 7-year-old going on random adventures with her monkey buddy Boots. There's tons of specials out there that were really overmarketed for what they really were. Like, seriously, this was marketed as a brand new adventure, but like, it's just a normal episode. Anyways, I have emotional attachment to this one. I had like 50% of the DVDs, and yes, I got most of my TV entertainment through DVDs, thank you very much. And is one of the 3 shows on this list that I have way too much fan lore for. But at least Dora is semi-popular, while the other one... we'll get to that when we get to that. Right, so next up is... Me Too and Balamori. I'm grouping these two together because they're rather similar in nature, except one is a little more popular than the other. So Balamori is set on what I assume is an island off the coast of Scotland, and Me Too is set in the fictional British city known as Riversea Fingal, apparently. So these two shows follow the same basic formula. The person who works with kids introduces us to their world. Eventually one of the several other characters show up for advice or something. They leave to do their own shtick. Other characters help them in the plot. Then problem arises, which main person eventually fixes, and we end where we start with the kid place. There are a couple differences, like the main characters don't all have the same job, and also the songs are placed differently. And speaking of songs, they also nailed them. Every character, bar the mother, has their own unique song about who they are and what they do. And also Me Too gets double points for having extra songs just about going to work and also panicking. Another thing that they both nail, me too specifically, is making otherwise mundane jobs seem like such an interesting, fun experience. I mean, heck, they made motherfucking cleaning buses sound like a good time. And that's not all. The other jobs are
chamber foreman, taxi driver, police officer, doctor, store/cafe worker, bus driver, market seller, teacher, inventor, music campaigning artist, high school gym teacher.
I'm gonna get a seizure from this video. Okay, but you get the point. There's a lot to like in these shows. Personally, I go for Me Too because it's underrated and apparently I like what all others hate. But again, choose which one you want to watch. They're both all over YouTube. Anyways, we next have H2O Just Add Water. So this was a late 2000s Australian show about 3 teenage girls, Cleo, Emma and Ricky, who turn into mermaids whenever they touch even just a single drop of water. Shenanigans ensue. I've heard a bunch from other people who grew up on this show that they always tried to be a mermaid, but I was 9 when I first saw this show on Netflix, and even I knew better. This is one of my many guilty pleasure shows where I normally keep the fact that I watch it completely secret from everyone else. Despite the fact that, honestly, there's nothing worth hiding. I was 9, okay? And nowadays, it's one of the shows I have way too much fan lore for. There was actually a universe extension of the series named Mako Mermaids. I haven't watched it, and I don't want to care about any of the lore established in there. I'd rather build my own lore than go off established canon, thank you very much. I just described all my fake lore for shows in one sentence. But anyways, this show is actually one of the better ones on this list, and the whole series is on YouTube, so yeah, go check it. I highly recommend, actually. Right, so next up is... I knew this day would come. So, this is Tree Fu Tom. It started in 2012 and I believe was cancelled in 2016. It was apparently semi-made to raise awareness of developmental coordination disorder. You can Google what that is. But anyways, this is about... well, duh. Who goes on adventures in Treetopolis, doing magic shtick and saving the day every other weekend, you know, standard stuff. Oh, and this guy is played by David frickin' Tennant. The show itself is actually not that bad. It's worth checking out at least. And, okay, I'll admit it, I'm obsessed with TFT. So much so that I have tons of made-up lore and characters made just for it. This is clearly a cry for help. Like, this isn't normal, is it? Who knows, maybe I'll draw these characters one day, but probably not because I'd be way too embarrassed to share them. Then again, I did just share my entire fanfic, so maybe... Okay, that's enough about my weird hobbies. Horrible Histories. So, Horrible Histories itself is a live-action sketch show showcasing random points about history. Romans, Tudors, the wars, pirates, Egyptians, the whole shebang, plus extras. It's kind of become a meme in recent times. I mean... heck, this is where that peasant joke meme came from. If you want to check it out, it's on CBBC iPlayer again. Though I'll warn you, there's some gross stuff in there. It's kind of horrible. Oh! Okay, but this wasn't my childhood. This was Horrible Histories Gory Games, a game show spin-off version of Horrible Histories, testing children off their knowledge of history, then forcing them down the time series to either play a single game or a free-for-all, or sometimes they just get flushed. Weak ones, don't watch this. There were a ton of interesting games. One of my favourites was Grave Robbers, a Victorian free-for-all where you'd have to steal corpses and plonk them on a nurse's bed for experimentation. This was a kids' show, right? But when you heard this sound,
goes on a wobbly weaving.
You'd have to hide behind a grave to avoid getting caught by a cop, who is apparently very bad at their job, considering they never spot the dead bodies littered all over the place. One day, while I was watching gory games on YouTube, I was recommended a video titled Trapped 3x7 Eastbourne. The thumbnail was of 5-ish pipes leading into one circle. I didn't know what it was, but I clicked it, thinking it would be similar to gory games. And from there, my dream began. Trapped! My favourite show. Yeah, at least in the top 5. So this is a game show that ran from 2007 to 2010. Each episode would start with this gross fellow introducing our 6 contestants.
These unfortunates.
Unfortunates. And they would climb down the tower competing minigames. But here's the thing. On each floor, someone would randomly be chosen as the saboteur. I don't think that's a real word either, but either way, their job is to screw up the challenge for everybody else. After each challenge, the unfortunates would vote for who they thought was the saboteur. If the team succeeded the challenge, the saboteur would be voted out regardless, but if they failed, the voted out would be
eliminated.
In the end, only one will get the key of freedom and escape.
The rest remain trapped.
Yeah, what he said. There were many unfortunates, some loved more than others, and there were loads of different challenges separated by a floor. Honestly, just talking about the show doesn't do it justice. You really need to watch it. I'd recommend this channel, who uploaded all the episodes. A lot of the episodes have been copyrighted by people who don't even own Trapped Zodiac Family. But there are still quite a few episodes to binge through, plus a few extras. So yeah, shout out to Trap TV for uploading all these episodes. And that's that. Let me know in the comments if there are any other old shows you want me to talk about. I have another for a whole nother video. And yeah, see ya. And also, please excuse the quality of my voice.